Today's video is twofold. First, let's take a look at some Battlefield 2042 news, specifically around how the progression system will work. Secondly, I will be doing the answer portion of the community Q&A video I put out a few weeks ago, where I will be answering the various questions I received. One of the biggest factors for me in wanting to do this channel is to create an awesome, chill, and positive community, and so far I've been really happy to see some progress there. So I wanted to do a little more community engagement. If you care what my answers are, make sure to stick around for that. But first, DICE has finally broken radio silence and released a flurry of new information for Battlefield 2042, including a beta trailer with new gameplay, an update on anti-cheat, and a post around how progression and cosmetics will work. I'm extremely excited for finally getting new info for 2042, but I haven't put out a video regarding these updates yet because honestly, there's so many videos out there from other creators that cover all of this new stuff, and if I feel like I have nothing to add or no new perspective or observation, then I'm just not going to make the video. However, I just want to talk briefly about the progression system. Let's review how it will all work. Similar to other Battlefield games, 2042 will feature experience that will be earned just by playing the game. However, DICE has said that their design approach here was to reward the most XP to players who play objectives and stick with their squad, which I appreciate a lot. I've always maintained the ability to work together should be emphasized as it sets Battlefield apart from other shooters in the market. Ribbons will return to 2042 and should be familiar for any vets of the series. They are essentially small rewards for repeated tasks that grant XP, so capturing multiple points or defending multiple points will result in earning the objective ribbon, and so on. 5 of the ribbons were revealed so far, although it does say work in progress here. These being Objective, Wingman, which is earned through revives and assists, Logistics for healing, resupplying, and repairing, Intel for spotting and disrupting enemies, and Combat for kills. Nothing really shocking here, but I appreciate the focus again on teamwork and cooperation. Like other Battlefields, players in 2042 will earn ranks with a max level of 99. Leveling will unlock specialists, weapons, vehicles, gadgets, and cosmetics. It's really interesting to me that levels will unlock specialists, actually, as they are essentially replacing the class system in this game. It'd be kind of like locking support out for new players. I'm assuming you'll at least have one specialist of each class type and unlock the others as you go, but still it's just a really weird decision to me because in my opinion, given how impactful they are to the gameplay experience, I kind of think they should all be unlocked by default. However, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Once you hit rank 99, you will now begin progressing through what is called S levels, starting at S001 all the way to S999. This sounds incredibly grindy and is really just for the prestige, but to be honest, I'm happy they're at least thinking long-term for player progression. Weapon progression sounds very similar to Battlefield 4, which I'm very happy with. Continued use of a weapon levels your mastery of it, meaning you will unlock more attachments and cosmetics for it as you go. I'm really glad again this is returning as it drives players to master specific weapons that they just enjoy using, as opposed to a Battlefield 1 system where you are working towards unlocking different variants of the weapon completely. As seen with Battlefield 4, this gives you a much greater level of customization and ability to tweak your favorite weapons to play exactly how you want them to feel. Overall, I'm excited for what I'm hearing here, and it aligns with a lot of the progression elements I enjoy out of the series. Like a good trained SEAL, I jump and I clap when I get that little dopamine rush of seeing a bar tick forward or a ribbon pop up. I'm just very excited to jump into the beta with you guys next week, and let's see if we get any more information before that. Okay, let's jump into the second part of this video and answer some questions. First question is from Billy Barnes, who asked, what do you do for work besides YouTube? YouTube is definitely a hobby for me, obviously, and if I depended on my YouTube income, I would quickly be in a cardboard box in the street. So I work in product management for a software company. It's not gaming, but I work really closely with developers and designers, so I'm usually thinking in the product and user experience framework even when I play games. That's a great question. Next, 1050 Franco asked, how did you discover the Battlefield saga for the first time? I've been a Battlefield fan since 1942. Well, not the year, but the game. But it's close enough. Me and my friends, we'd go to a local LAN place, which I don't even know if those exist anymore, and Battlefield 1942 was one of the available games there, and immediately just the scale and the classes and the vehicles, ability to even drive vehicles, just blew my young mind, and since then, I've just been in love with the series. ITZ Ghost asked, what's your favorite Battlefield and game outside of Battlefield? Oof, this is a really tough one to answer. I find different things to enjoy from each entry, so it's just hard to say which one is my absolute favorite. I would probably say as far as when it released and just how much enjoyment I got from it overall, it's probably Bad Company 2. That was just an incredible experience for me. As far as other games, the Total War series is one of my absolute favorites. I love the RTS and strategy genre, so I'm super excited for AoE 4, and I've played almost every entry in the Total War franchise as well. My boy Bubba Calderon asked, what's the one thing you're most looking forward to in Battlefield 2042? I mean, obviously, like new maps, weapons, the setting, playing around with the specialists, they're all extremely exciting, but I have kind of an abstract answer here. Given how much I enjoy aspects of Battlefield 1, with the features of 5, I'm really excited to just see how they bring these elements into a modern, futuristic setting. If they can capture even a fraction of the atmosphere of Battlefield 1 in this setting, I'll be extremely happy. So that's probably what I'm most excited for. Mr. Human Man said, what is the best or most underrated Battlefield main theme? I don't know if it's necessarily underrated, but I have to go with Battlefield 1 here. It just wins for me, hands down. It maintains the classic theme, but has almost a old schoolish vibe that conveys the setting really well while still being Battlefield. It's a good question. Alexander Vian Holmes, sorry if I mispronounced that, asked again what I'm most excited for, which I answered, but what am I least excited for in Battlefield 2042? I'm extremely nervous about performance issues and bugs. They are operating on a scale that they haven't yet, so I'm really nervous that this will not only impact the gameplay and the flow of gameplay in negative ways, but result in a lot of technical issues. Alexandra also asked, there are concerns circling around the community that the game looks too cartoonish and colorful. What do you think of that? I think a lot of the leaked footage had like color saturation issues, and from what I've seen, the lighting is a little concerning in like indoor areas. But overall, and given the latest footage, it looks absolutely incredible. I'm really liking the bright color scheme, actually, especially with how it interacts with the HUD. I think it looks futuristic and it's different enough from other entries, and I think it looks really good, so I'm not super concerned. Mr. Carline said, how did you feel when your video on Hardline blew up? So, obviously that's still my most popular video by far. And I was mostly just confused, honestly, because it blew up like a month after I released it. I didn't think it would be super popular, and you just never know with YouTube. You know, I'm just gonna have videos that are much more successful than others, and all I can really do as a creator is just try to improve with each one and make the best content that I can, and make it entertaining enough for you guys. Last question is from NickBoy302, who asked, how would you change the Recon Professional Scout classes to make them more relevant other than rooftop camping? Also, what is your favorite class from each Battlefield game? I'm all for player agency and how people want to play the game, but this is undeniably a detrimental playstyle to the game just because it's so teamwork focused, right? So I'd probably tweak a few things. I'd probably make like the spawn beacon gadget squad leader specific instead of a recon gadget. I'd also remove probably the extremely long range scopes, like the 40 times. There's just no use for a scope that long range outside of what you're suggesting is basically people will sit back and shoot. I love sniping in Battlefield, don't get me wrong, but there's definitely a place for it, and rewarding more aggressive play is just another way to combat this. You know, making aggressive recon an extremely fun class to play is really effective. I don't think I really have a good answer there, to be honest. Favorite class from each game, I'll just review the last few, but in 5 it's definitely the medic, in 1 it's the scout, in 4 and 3 it's the assault, and in Bad Company 2 it was definitely the support. I love supporting teammates, but at the same time I love sniping. So I definitely mix it up a lot, but for each entry I have, a preferred class, obviously. So that was it for the questions. I hope you enjoyed my responses, and that's really it for me today, and until next time.